Welcome back. I sure am glad you can join us here again today. You know, I spent many years living in Alaska, but there's one place I never got a chance to visit was Europe, in particular, the French countryside. You know, recently, I've made a new friend, a pen pal, a fella by the name of Vincent. And Vincent is an artist just like me and you. He writes me the most wonderful letters describing the views that he sees out of his window in France. He describes this scene in the morning, well before the sun comes up, where he can still see the moon and a bright morning star in the sky. And I thought, let's try to paint that today, what he described to me. I'm going to take the palette and the paintbrush. I'm going to put those down today. I know a lot of us are at home. We don't have all the supplies that we need. So today, I'm going to use oil pastels. They're a lot like crayons, but you can use them in layers. If you don't have oil pastels at home, that's okay. You can still join along with crayons, markers, maybe even some paint. Let's get started. So what Vincent was telling me was there was this little hillside. I'm going to start off with this light sky blue here. From his window he could see this hillside in the early morning. So I'm just going to map that off to start off like this. And he said he could see a big moon in the sky too, so I'm going to put my moon right around here. You can put yours wherever you want. Anywhere you want. I just made a moon. Look at that. He also said there was a bright morning star in the sky. Turns out it was Venus. Sometimes you look up at the sky and you see stars, and they're not really stars, sometimes they're planets. Over here I'm going to put some more stars. I'm just going to map some out. You can put your stars wherever you want. I'm just going to make some little circular, little blobs, little circular blobs. These are going to turn into stars in our sky. So there's the beginning. One more right over here. That's it right there. Remember, you can put your stars wherever you want. It's a little sky blue to get started. So here we go. I got my mountain ridge here. Nice rolling little hill in the French countryside. And got these stars kind of mapped out. Real lightly to get started. Nice and light. Nice and light. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a little fun with the sky today. Put some energy in the sky. Gonna make a big swirl through the sky here. Big swirl. I got to see some of Vincent's paintings before, and they have a lot of energy. There's another swirl coming through the sky, like magic, in the night. Look at that. There's a big swirl here, and a big swirl there. Just with some light sky blue, some light blue, whatever you got, it's okay. Tell you what, now I'm gonna switch over to regular blue here. I think what I got in this pack, this is a ultramarine blue. I'm just gonna start laying some in here. Just gonna shade some in a little bit. Just like that. Just gonna add a little bit, not too much, not too much. I'm gonna save a couple spots for the stars later. Just some regular blue, whatever you have, it's okay. Remember, this is your world. You can do whatever you want. Whatever you want. You could even change the colors up if you want, it's okay. It's not gonna matter. Remember, this is your world and you get to create it. Still a little more shading. Just dance it around. This is sort of like my first layer of color coming in here. I hope to add some more as we go along here. Just dance it in. There. that sky is coming together magical. Now throughout this swirl here, I'm gonna be a little heavier with my hand here and sort of put little strips of color in throughout it. Just sort of dance them in, curve them around, have a little fun with it. So there's some regular blue. Tell you what, I'm going to go back to that sky blue here. Have some more fun with these swirls. I'm having some fun with this. Now I'm just going to keep coming in with some sky blue through this nice swirl in the sky here. This happy little swirl just floating through the sky. Now if you're using crayons at home, you can kind of stop here to leave a bit of that white in there, or you could pick up a little pastel of some titanium white here. The pastels have an ability to mix really well together and sort of layer on top of each other. Watch that happen. Look at that, it's like magic before your eyes. Look at that. Just blending together. But they were meant to be there. Wasn't really planning on it, but you just kind of go with it. Now if you're working at home and let's say yours doesn't look like mine, that's a good thing. Remember that. You're using different materials. You're a different person. So it just makes sense that your artwork's going to be different than mine. If you thought you made a mistake so far, remember, if we don't make mistakes, we just have happy accidents. That's right. Many times in my artwork, I make something and didn't really mean to do it, but it turns out being the best part of my artwork, the most interesting part of my artwork. There. Tell you what, now I'm going to move back to that sky area over here. I'm going to start dancing some of this sky blue color all around some different spots. Just let it happen. You can kind of feel the energy of the sky coming to life. Look at that. There's some more swirls around the stars. I'm just gonna leave those white for now. There it is. Some nice streaks of color coming through. The sky's sort of coming to life. Wave it around. Sure is a happy sky. Lots of color. All this blue, all these swirls. It just makes me feel good inside. Makes me feel happy. You know what I mean? It's one of the reasons why I love to paint so much. I hope you do too. There we go. So there we go. I'm gonna head back to this regular blue color here, this ultramarine blue, and just sort of put some more in there, a couple more streaks. Just dance it around. Dance it around. There it goes. I'm sure your drawing at home looks amazing. And I'm sure it looks different. Imagine if everyone's painting was the same, exactly the same. Oh, what a boring world that would be. I really appreciate when I go to museums and visit with other artists and see their work and how different it is. Tell you what, since this is a nighttime scene or very, very early morning, I'm just going to use a little tiny bit of black. Black can be very powerful color using pastels and paints. I'm just gonna drop in a couple little areas here of black just to give us a little contrast. Make the sky a little bit more distinct. There it is. Just be careful with it and add a little contrast to the sky. Just like that. Right there. Now, one of the best things about oil pastels is you can mix and blend them together. It's like magic. One tool you could use is your professional oil pastel blender, your finger. You can move it around like this. Use the side of your thumb or tip of your finger. Look at that, the colors start to blend together right before your very eyes. You could use one of the colors you've been using. You can use like a white here. And just sort of press a little bit harder. Look at that, it's like magic. All the colors start to come together and make it happier. Look at that. Kind of smooths it out. Now, if you don't have pastel, that's okay. You can have a little bit of a different quality to it. That's a good thing. Remember that. It's a good thing. I like to follow these shapes around, these stars. Just let it happen. You know, a lot about art is if you believe you can do it. I find that to be very true in life. If you're struggling a little bit, it's okay. It's normal, actually. Every artist goes through it. You just believe that you can do it. And you keep practicing, you trying, and you keep working at it, and you'll get the hang of it. It'll just come to life. Everyone's different. That's a good thing. Just bring it all together. If you wanted to, you could even add some more color to your sky. That's okay. You know, in Alaska, we had this natural phenomenon that was just breathtaking. The Northern Lights. Nothing quite like it. Sometimes people call it the Aurora Borealis. It's like a magical sheet of curtains flying through the sky at different times of the night. You can see all kinds of colors during that. You get reds, oranges, yellows, greens, purples, blue, violet. And anything can happen in the sky. It's a magical place. Tell you what, now I'm going to switch over to this cadmium yellow here. I'm going to take this moon space and make it a nice, beautiful crescent moon. There we go. Look at that. Nice little crescent moon up in the sky. You can make it a full moon, that's okay. Any kind of moon you want. Now lightly around, I'm just going to put some yellow streaks, little circular patterns. Circular patterns, a little bit of energy. Make it come to life. That's it. I'm going to go back to my white over here. I'm going to go around that crescent shape. There it is. Just let the yellow and the blue sort of mix together. It's okay. Like some happy little green tones in there. Our yellows and our blues make some beautiful greens. And each of the stars at night, just gonna go around those a little bit. Sort of dance them up. Put some energy around these stars at night. Couple more little stars. Happy up in the sky, shining. And over here, it's actually gonna be a planet. This is Venus. Up in the sky, so bright. Make that a little bit whiter. Just to give a little bit more dimension to to make the stars a little bit more contrast, I'm gonna take out a little bit of orange here and jump over to this little moon. Try to bring out that crescent shape. Just a little hint of orange in there. A little tiny bit. There it is. I'm just gonna add a little tiny bits of orange into some of these stars to make them stand out just a little bit more. Like that for Venus. There it is. I'm going to switch back to yellow and just sort of blend it in. Blend it in. Remember, you can use your finger. Your finger can blend. So now I'm going to take these little bits of orange and just kind of mix them in a little bit with this yellow. And then back to my good old titanium white here. Just kind of leave some streaks around this iridescent moon, shining so bright in the sky. One of the great things about pastels is you can layer them on top of other colors to an extent. So these to glow. Just little streaks of some light. Next time the skies are clear at night, you can see some stars. You might see them differently. I know I sure will. And some more streaks through this sky area here. Our big swirl we made in the skies. Magical swirl. So now we got a decision to make, and I'm gonna put some mountains in here. Some low rolling mountains. I'm using my ultramarine blue. More of a true blue. Just sort of fill it in. Not as mighty as the majestic snow-capped peaks in Alaska, but beautiful all the same. Mountains are like paintings if you think about it. If all the mountains in the world were the same, oh, what a boring world it would be, huh? Back here, I'm going to take a little bit of this black and work it in. This one a little darker. Just a little darker with that black. And there it goes. This one here, some swirls in the hill. These foothills down here. And it's coming to life. Look at that. I'm making a mountain. Do you know you had the power to do that? At home, all I can move around is a chair. Here, I'm moving mountains, making mountains. You have so much power here. Painting and drawing. You can make your worlds come to life. You can do whatever you want. This is the titanium white. Just using that to help me blend this together a little bit. Look at that. And up here, I'm going to give it a little contrast. I'm going to go back over this little mountain ridge here, make it a little bit wider at night. You can almost feel it like so early in the morning, it's still dark out, but we know that Mr. Sun is back there somewhere, getting ready to brighten our days. There it is. Look at that. Tell you what, one of the things I heard about France and the French countryside, they had these wonderful giant trees called cypress trees. I'm going to start to kind of dance one in here. Let's see what happens. They're very wispy and magical. Of course, you can put yours wherever you want. I think I'm just going to do just one big giant one. And just like our sky, I'm going to put some swirls in it today, like this going downward. Mighty cypress tree. To give the black color a little bit more life, I'm gonna turn to this brown over here. This is a burnt sienna. It's kind of like a reddish brown. I'm gonna come in here and take this reddish brown and do the same thing, kind of liven up this black a little bit. It's gonna liven it up. Just give a little hint of color in there. That's it. It's all coming together. I'm also going to come in and use a little bit of this green here. A little vermilion green. Look at that. Just a couple little hints of color of green. Starts to bring this mighty cypress to life. I'll use my finger to blend a little bit down here. Just have a little fun with it. Maybe make some swirls in it. There it is. Look at that. Now back to my black. Just some more little streaks. This happy little cypress tree there. There. Look at that, huh? Our world is coming together. I think next what I'll do is I'll put a little foothill in here. So our mountain in the back has a little friend. Everyone needs a friend. Trees need a friend. People need a friend. And so do mountains. There it is. I'm using my sky blue to start this mountain. Make it a little bit lighter. Just a little bit lighter. Just a couple hints of that ultramarine blue. Just a little bit. I'm going to leave some streaks in here too. Make it sort of come to life. Just a couple little hints of black. Not much. The black's very powerful. It can overtake your picture. Make it very dark very quickly. And if that happens, remember, it's okay. We're all in this together. That's right. Watch those colors mix together. There's a little foothill down there at the bottom. Tell you what, these foothills need a little bit of a friend too. I'm gonna make some little bushes down here. Just some swirls. They'll start coming to life right away. Doesn't take much to make this sort of come to life. Using my green now. Little hints of color. But even though they're green, they're going to reflect that wonderful night sky. So I'm going to come back in here with a little bit of my sky blue and sort of swirl that in. Wonderful little foothills. Some bushes, some trees, a little bit of foliage. It's good to kind of mix this together. And just some little hints of black. Little shadows here. Just let it happen. Look at that. And some titanium white for a little bit of highlights. Here in the bushes. There we go. I'm going to take a little bit of my yellow in here and just to give it a little bit of a extra color, like a little field in here. While we got the green out, I'm going to The green down in here, just a little bit of it. Then my regular blue. Another bush. Just a little bush, a little bit of sky blue in here. I think I'll even use a little bit of yellow this time. Just a little bit of yellow. And then some black at the end just to put some swirls into my new little creation. Looks so beautiful so far, and we're almost finished, but I was talking to Vincent over my letters. He said it kind of reminded him of little towns in his home country where he's from, the Netherlands. That's where he was born. That's where he grew up. In the Netherlands, they have buildings and churches and cathedrals with these tall spires like this. It's going to put a little building in here. Mostly some light blue, just a little sky blue here. Then some of my good old titanium white. Put it right over top of that. Look at that. Little roof here. Building there. And some ultramarine blue. Mix a little bit of that in. Then a little bit of black. It's going to sort of outline the cathedral. Got a little window here. Maybe someone's there right now. Getting ready to start the day. Maybe lighting a candle. Cathedral in this happy little town. I'm gonna make some more buildings down here. There's some houses and some buildings. This little town's gonna have a beautiful day. I can feel it. It's my red sepia. This is my burnt sienna color here. Little burnt sienna for these buildings. Still gonna come back and mix in this blue. We'll notice almost everything I made in this drawing today. It's got a little bit of that blue, that sky blue in it. And maybe some ultramarine blue. Whatever color's in the sky. And get all over the place. Little rooftop here. There we go. There's some streaks of white on top of this building here. Maybe a little bit of the yellow. Just like that. A couple more bushes in here like this. A big happy bush. I'm gonna go back to my sky blue here and give these buildings some friends. Just draw little squares, whatever size you want. Just little rectangles, a couple little houses. And I'm going to come in and sort of draw the outlines of this building. I may be going right over top of some of my bushes from earlier, but that's okay. There's a little building there. Here's one here. Get that little doorway. Get a window up here for this building. Back to my yellow. Just giving it a little push. This town needs a little bit of light at night. Early morning so people can get around. Back to my black over here. Some little streaks. This building has a little bit of top to it. Maybe a couple more houses over here. Just a little rooftop, and I'm throwing a couple more bushes down here. Just a little bit of that green, some white. A little bit of the brown on this roof here. Just a little bit. Some more blue, a little light blue on the roof. You'll notice when I use the oil pastels, there's always a lot of colors coming together. We talked about having friends before, and I'll tell you what, oil pastels, they need some friends. Sure, they look amazing by themselves, but you mix them together with other pastels and sometimes you don't know what you're going to get, but turns out to be beautiful. There's our little town at night. Getting ready to start its day. Well, would you look at that? Right before our very own eyes, our magical world is now complete. Well, I sure hope you enjoyed our time together today. I know I enjoyed my time together with you. And did you hear that? It sounded like someone was knocking. And go ahead, open the door. Oh, boys and girls, I can't believe it. It's my pen pal, Vincent. He came all the way from France to come see. Yeah, come on in. Come on in. That's right. Come on. Come say hello to everybody. It's great to meet you.
Hello. Hello.
Well, Vincent, what do you think about the painting that we made today? Does it look like what you saw at your window in
Yes,
France?
sure. I think you really nailed it here. I remember it. The moon, the stars, the cypress tree. Good work.
Well, thanks, Vincent. I appreciate that. Wow, what an amazing day on our show today. A special guest. Well, we have a lot to talk about. I tell you what, I think I'm going to go for a nature walk. Vincent, come on, let's go on a nature walk. I'm going to tell you all about Alaska. Come on. Goodbye, everybody. Come on, Vincent.
Alaska?